Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I'm here to talk to you about Linux distributions. Now, how many of you have actually used the operating system Linux? How many people have actually used it in depth, command prompt and all? First of all, I'm going to go over a brief history of Linux. In 1984, Richard Stallman, a researcher at MIT AI Lab, started a project he called GNU to counter the fast-moving trend towards proprietary fee-based software. This concept serves as the basis of Linux development, the brainchild of Linus Torvalds. When Torvalds began developing Linux in 1991, he was a student at the University of Helsinki and originally targeted Linux at the Intel 386, although now it is one of the most widely ported operating systems available for PC. Torvalds wanted to write a new version of Unix, so he had a group of programmers combine talents and create a core operating system called Linux. Now, the different distributions of Linux I'm going to talk about today are Fedora, Ubuntu, Red Hat, SUSE, and Backtrack. Now, keep in mind, there are dozens more than what I just listed. You can even go on and make your own Linux operating system should you so feel. Fedora is the first one I'm going to talk to you about today. Fedora is free, and it's even made with free software. Fedora's website is even made from free software, believe it or not. Fedora is created by many different project teams from around the world. They are called upstream, is what they are called when they work together. It's got very large community support because there's dozens of different project teams across the world, and there's over 10,000 or more free apps for Fedora. How many of you have ever used Ubuntu? Do you know Ubuntu is more than just one operating system? We've got the Unity core, we've got Kubuntu core. That's why there's a star in front of the Ubuntu. And Ubuntu's newest release, 14.04 LTS, also called Trusty Tar, they are touting it as a good XP replacement since XP stopped being supported. And the changes in 14.04 are actually just ease of life. There's nothing really game-changing to it. But Ubuntu was named the best Linux distro of 2014 for desktops. And it's a nice, simple, nothing overly complicated, just an easy install. It starts up and shuts down quickly, and it doesn't come with the extra bells and whistles that most Linux operating systems do. Ubuntu, named the best laptop Linux distro of 2014. Works well with older laptops, and it's an Ubuntuized LXDE, which is one of the lightest graphical environments you can use without sacrificing a lot of functionality. The next operating system I'm going to talk to you about is Red Hat. Does anybody know any actual companies that use Red Hat? Oak Ridge National Lab actually uses Red Hat Enterprise Edition for their Linux distro. And Red Hat is actually an interoperable. It can be used with Windows formats. Red Hat, the company themselves, was actually the first billion-dollar Linux vendor. And they've been a cornerstone of Linux development since 1994. They are the #1 corporate kernel contributor. And Red Hat comes with productivity software already wrapped up inside. So there's no need to spend extra money to buy it or extra time to find it. Next, I'm going to talk to you about SUSE. Now, SUSE is actually the top enterprise Linux distro. They were the first Linux mainframe, and it's not actually that well known in North America. It's used mostly over in Europe, and It's the most popular Linux mainframe with 80% of the market share, and it is used on over half the world's supercomputers. Believe it or not, even Walmart uses the SUSE system for the point-of-sale system. And some of the top Fedora features include cost-effectiveness. They say it can cost up to 90% less than Windows and Microsoft Office because it all comes wrapped up nice and it works seamlessly with other operating systems such as Windows. And it includes a management suite to make management very easy. It includes something called App Armor, which is a security that creates a firewall around all the applications you're using. And it's got your standard integrated antivirus and VPN client. How many of you know what a VPN client is? I've got a little video for you about an installation of SUSE. That was actually the SUSE operating system in last operating system distro I'm going to talk to you about today is Backtrack. How many people have actually heard of Backtrack? How many people have actually used Backtrack? Now, I've got some unfortunate news for you actually. Backtrack is actually no longer supported. They are making another operating system and calling it Kali. It was the highest rated security distro for Linux. It was designed exclusively for penetration testing of networks, and it was designed to be a one-stop shop basically. There was well over 300 different security testing apps already pre-configured and installed on that operating system. And like I said, it's no longer supported, which, as unfortunate as that is, it's being turned into Kali, which is supposed to be better. It even comes with an online training course called Metasploit. And I'm actually going to take the time to actually show you an operating system, the Ubuntu and the Backtrack. This is an actual Ubuntu operating system. It's a little bit different than most comes with your Office software. It's got your little, basically App Center, as you consider it, basically like your marketplace for Android or something. It's got, the nice thing about some of the Linux distros is they come with workspaces, which are multiple desktop environments that you can use for different apps. So you can be using one app on the first desktop environment, and you maybe use two other apps on the second one. And they aren't on top of each other, they're just separate desktop environments. Now I'm actually going to show you the Backtrack environment. That little bootloader right there is what comes up when you install multiple Linux environments or Linux and Windows. It'll pop up a little grub loader asking you which operating system you want to actually run. So I haven't gone much in depth with this. It's still the default administrative account. As you can see, Backtrack starts off as just a command line environment. If you know the commands, you can start everything right from here. Or if you're still new to it, you can do this, which will actually give you a desktop GUI environment. This is Backtrack right here. Like I said, it's got dozens of different network testing applications, such as stress testing, vulnerability assessments, just everything a security person could want, basically, for their IT network to test and verify no vulnerabilities are around. I've got a short little video here for you about actually using Backtrack. I don't know if you can tell, but he's actually using this in a virtual machine. That's basically the gist of how you use Backtrack to hack Wi-Fi. And believe it or not, we've actually seen this. All the students from last semester saw Mitchell do this as a demonstration to everybody on actually Mr. Hamilton's network when he used WP. But that's my presentation for the day.